forces.
And we have been seeing everyday people, men, women, children, teenagers taking up arms to defend Ukraine. This morning, an urban warfare expert talks about tactics, of course, that some of these citizens are using there to defend themselves against the Russian army.
So John Spencer is the chair of urban warfare studies at the Modern War Institute at West Point. John, thank you for being with us this morning.
John, good morning.
You know, guerrilla type warfare has a long history, doesn't it? And with different measures of success.
Yeah, absolutely. Guerrilla warfare, I mean, from the start of warfare, and to be frank, urban warfare, cities have always been, I mean, that's the reason we have armies, was to move outside of your fortress city and engage the army coming towards you. But guerrilla tactics have stopped the greatest armies in the world in different spots in history. And I think the Ukrainians really have a chance here.
Can you, John, talk a little bit about some of the videos that we're seeing? We're showing some of it on the air this morning. One of the videos I think that really caught my attention and was really gaining some traction was men and women making these Molotov cocktails. They were all gathering on the floor and stuffing things into these glass bottles. Is this the type of thing you see in these types of situations around the world when people are called to defend their own communities and countries?
So I've seen those videos and I think they're great. To answer the question, I don't think this is historic, really. This is historic. I mean, a lot of times people say that the whole population will be against you. And in history, that's not true. What we're seeing in Ukraine, though, they were serious. And like the video of the beauty queen, I've seen videos of grandma. I hate seeing that.
Yeah.
But they are really rising up. This is historic.
So we're talking about, I would imagine, one of the most formidable armies in the world. I know they're not close to what we have right now when I'm talking about Russia. But you're saying you can have some success, especially in an urban setting. Talk about some of the things, like that beauty queen. What can that beauty queen do with no training at all, military training, to harass and maybe even turn around these professional soldiers?
Right. And that's really the reason why I put out a couple messages, because they can resist, but they have to be smart. I mean, it's extremely dangerous situation. But the inside their cities, not just the big ones, any of the small ones, they have a chance to create a really hell on earth for the most powerful army in the military. But they have to do it safely. They have to protect themselves. And then the urban terrain, just think about it. Any building, any window they can shoot from, and nobody will know where you're from. Now, what I don't want to see is people just running around in the open waiting for the army to come, because I think this is going to get really violent, more violent. I mean, it's violent now. It's going to get more violent. This is only the beginning for them. So they have to resist, what I say, resist smart.
You bring up a good point, because one of the videos circulating was one man who went and tried to stop a long line of tanks. And I remember him kind of lying on the ground, which did pretty much nothing. So what do these people do then? Is it about banding together at that point?
So, I mean, there's a combination of things. I hated seeing that video as well, although these stories give people more hope. I mean, that's a powerful video, a powerful image. I would have rather him have just taken his car and driven it into the street, and just about 6 or 7 guys do that, and there's nobody getting through that. They have a chance to just block the roads. As a civilian, don't put yourself in danger. They can block every road. We know where the Russians are coming from, and we know where they're trying to get to. And they can pull, their small vehicle or a bus into the road, and it will have a very big impact on the most powerful enemy.
Yeah, and they're well fortified. I'm sure they're behind armor and things, but at a certain point, you have to get out, right? And if you're surrounded by buildings, you're surrounded, like as you said, by a city. When the entire city wants you out, you know who's going to take a shot at you or fly a drone over your head, and plus how expensive it is for Russia to keep those troops in there. You wonder how long they can keep this up with the whole citizenry against them.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's where we're trying to get, right? The Ukrainians are getting better every hour, and we're seeing them get better at what they're doing, the checkpoints, the barricades, the Molotov cocktails. You're exactly right. The Russians are going to hit a point where the price is too big, and that's where we want to get. Make it so costly that they have to withdraw. And to be honest, that is a real possibility now that you have this much of your population helping fight.
John, it was a pleasure to speak with you this morning. Thank you for your insight. You're an expert in this area, and you gave some great pointers. Thank you so much.
And thank you for your work there at West Point,
Yeah, we
helping to train
appreciate
some of our future military leaders. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Thank you, John. Yeah, so unless you want to go in there and just flatten the city,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
Right.
To the point where there's nowhere anywhere that can hide. Yeah, can you imagine having
Yes.
sniper fire coming at you from every
Wow.
direction?
Yeah.